Norbert Mao has taken DP to a ditch.
Okay.
Yes, he has some cooperation agreement with President Museveni, but I don't think that's sufficient. Mao cannot tell NRM how to balance our boat of Uganda. We're the ones in charge. We're the ones who are going to determine how we balance the boat.
We listen more to those who disagree with us. And that's actually how President Museveni operates.
Again, he has to carry water and give undeserving compliments to Museveni. But Museveni listens to those he disagrees with by what? Hunting them down and forcing them to flee their homes, abducting their supporters, opening up trumped-up charges on the likes of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Shut up, Norbert Mao. You can eat money without really debasing yourself to a childish commentator. Jeez.
But also, Mao himself has said peaceful transition, election reforms. It is now 3.5 years since Mao has been minister. Where are the election reforms?
Interesting. I love it. Please inject this in my veins.
So nobody should take Mao for the words he's talking about. I know he's good at flourish, but that's about all.
And yes, indeed, presenting to you from these United States of the America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might watch this conversation. My name is Mordecai Murisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Murisa Live. Exactly. And are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you aboard. Let's do this. Like this video, share it, and invite others to join us. All right. Oh, yeah. I'm into my new apartment and getting this stuff ready. So in case you just see there's issues with our audio, please excuse us for a few minutes or a few days. We're going to get this fixed. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm following up events in Uganda, the unfortunate events in Museveni's dictatorship. And what's going on right now, it is the Cold War between Norbert Mao and Ofwono Opondo. That's what I'm going to be telling you. And the reason why I'm enjoying this, because it gives us a permission structure to know what they think of each other. Are you ready? This is what you're going to be doing tonight. So sit back and relax for this wonderful conversation. Norbert Mao wants to be speaker. Ofwono Opondo says no. What do I say? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I think I should explain to you. You might not know. Former government spokesperson Ofwono Opondo launched a scathing attack on Democratic Party President Norbert Mao over his bold bid to become Speaker of Parliament. This has ignited fresh political fireworks within Uganda's political circles, especially the ruling class. In recent weeks, Norbert Mao, the man who steered the Democratic Party into a controversial cooperation agreement with the ruling National Resistance Movement, I usually call it National Robbers Movement, 3 years ago, despite fierce resistance from the sections of his own party, positioned himself as a national unifier. Every time he's asked of what he thinks of himself in regards to this speakership race, says, oh, I represent Uganda. Made simple. My mom is Emunyankore. My father is from the north. I studied from this school in the east, and then I went to this university in the west. So see, I'm a unifier. He has signaled confidence that he's better suited to preside over our parliament than the incumbent speaker, Anita Among. Museveni's dummy, remote controlled, 100%, no doubt about that. But now, Ofwono Opondo, former spokesperson of the Ugandan government, is not buying an ounce of this. In a dismissive and sharply worded critique, Ofwono Opondo ridiculed Norbert Mao's leadership ambitions. He argued that a politician who failed to steady his own political party, I think, to quote him verbatim, I think he said he brought DP to a ditch. He threw DP into a ditch. And this is why I really like it, because now they are calling each other for, names and for what they are. So he says, this one cannot convincingly present himself as the steward of the nation's legislative arm. His remarks intensified an already simmering contest for influence within the pro-establishment ranks. Now, it is very easy to fall for one of the camps. You might be, okay, now I stand for Norbert Mao, or I am on the side of Ofwono Opondo. You're getting lost. Beneath this public sparring lies a deeper, extremely deeper political drama. While their exchange may appear as open warfare, both these men operate within the same broader political orbit. And I'm going to explain to you, and I'm quite certain some of you already know. Norbert Mao is viewed by myself as a critic as someone who is aligning himself with forces believed to be sympathetic to a potential future presidency of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the son of Yoweri Museveni. He wants to position himself as better suited to usher us into the dictatorship of Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Now, on the other side, you have Ofwono Opondo, who remains unwavering defender of Museveni's leadership and abysmal legacy. So what is unfolding is not merely a personal feud. It is high-stakes power struggle within the establishment itself. So don't fall for any side. You don't have to choose a side at all at any given time. As the rhetoric sharpens and alliances shift, as we see in Uganda, Ugandans should continue to watch closely, bracing for what could be a defining chapter in this country's political evolution, and one that may actually ultimately sideline both protagonists, the Norbert Mao and Ofwono Opondo, and usher us into a phase of a broader change that these two don't even anticipate. So that's what we're going to be looking at. I want to play you some words of Ofwono Opondo, and I'll give my commentary. And then I'll play you other words from Norbert Mao. But for now, watch here, ladies and gentlemen.
I have seen my other very long-standing friend, Honorable Norbert Mao, expressing interest. Unfortunately, he has 6 members. I don't see how NRM can give somebody who has 6 members, who has really taken his party to a ditch.
He's taken his party into a ditch. He's referring to Norbert Mao, that he's taken his party into a ditch. But I have to explain something here. He's missing out something. And I'm sure he knows. He's trying to play the number games. It doesn't really matter. If Museveni wants Norbert Mao to become Speaker of Parliament, if they come to a conclusion, Museveni and Muhoozi Kainerugaba, alongside Caleb Kandwanaho and a few others who are controlling power in shadows, they will make him Speaker. So it doesn't really matter whether he has the numbers or not. And that's why he's confident that he can actually do it, because it will be self-explanatory that, hey, you only have 6 members against how many? 100 and plus members? Why are you even trying? He knows exactly that, because he knows how the NRM establishment, this individualistic dictatorship, operates. It doesn't really matter whether you're loved or not, whether you have support or not. He knows this. So that's why you shouldn't be even going like, oh, he has only 6 members. It doesn't really matter. If Museveni wants him to be Speaker, he will be Speaker. And this is it. To take it a step further. This man who says he doesn't have the numbers, if he's given enough money, he switches his position immediately.
Norbert Mao has taken DP to a ditch.
Okay.
Yes, he has some cooperation agreement with President Museveni. But I don't think that's sufficient.
Now, you really have to go and find out when Norbert Mao signed that cooperation agreement with Museveni. What did this man say? He says, he would say, Norbert Mao is a unifier. Those one who are criticizing him are bad. They don't love Uganda. Now he's calling that cooperation agreement taking DP to a ditch. Okay.
There's nothing Norbert Mao is bringing new on the table. I have seen him speak as if he is the political heir to Little Lanya. I have seen him speak about balancing the vote. Mao cannot tell NRM how to balance our vote of Uganda. We're the ones in charge. We're the ones who are going to determine how we balance the vote. And we shall balance that vote by, first of all, having a disciplined, loyal, and competent speaker.
First of all, this is a lie, that he knows he's lying. He's living in denial. Either he's deluding himself into believing what he says, or he knows he's lying. Disciplined, unless you mean, like you said, loyalty, that obsequious loyalty to Museveni. But competent speaker, are you referring to Anita Among? All the three things he mentioned are not, the speaker has a number of things, but loyalty is the only thing she has. But discipline and competency, come on, are you kidding me?
The NRM from Trinity. And as I've said, I see no reason.
You were the mouthpiece of NRM during that time when this cooperation agreement was being signed between BP and NRM. There is a popular opinion that there was something to do with transition. And this is what even Mao fronts in this race as
well. It is Mao who has said so. My principle from the NRM, Mr. Yoweri Museveni, the chairman of NRM, the president of Uganda, has not told me, I have not heard him say anywhere that these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in the cooperation agreement with Mr. Mao. So Mao may be, and you remember the president has actually rebuked Mao when he talked about peaceful transition, as if Mao thinks that without that agreement we cannot have a peaceful transition. The president has rebuked Mao. But also, Mao himself has said peaceful transition, election reforms. It is now 3.5 years since Mao has been minister. Where are the election reforms?
Interesting. I love it. Please inject this in my veins. Where are these electoral reforms? And this is what Museveni does. He doesn't really care. He doesn't respect any of these people. He gets a lawyer and makes him the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. As justice is delayed and denied to people, the Constitution is abysmally abused. Norbert Mao cannot do anything. So Norbert Mao is a failed minister who is a wordsmith. By the way, I've had many people say, I love how Norbert Mao talks. Yeah, he's good at talking, but that's all. He's good at having conversations. He's good at giving speeches and injecting a few comedic transitions in his conversations. That's it. He's a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Look at what we saw in the election. What has Norbert Mao done? Not even a shred of pretense. Okay, we're gonna the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs has formulated. Is coming up with a committee that's going to look into the violence that was witnessed in the 2026 elections. At least pretense, zero. Norbert Mao won't do that, but he wants you convinced because he's good at this. He wants you convinced that, he's a good guy. And I've seen some people actually argue, Norbert Mao is too presidential. What do you mean? I think we are very easy people to be manipulated. My ability, my rhetoric ability, my oratory skills is known quality to leadership. It would be me like pretending that, hey, now because I've got a microphone, I shout every day, run my mouth and flap my gums every day. I can be president of Uganda. Absolutely not. There are people who are better suited for those positions. But many people who argue in favor of Norbert Mao, the only thing they mention is good at talking. What?
Where's the law on the so-called peaceful transition?
Exactly.
So nobody should take Mao for the words he's talking about. I know.
This is why I told you I enjoy this flame war between these folks within the same political camp, because then you're able to know what's up with these people. They do not have any respect for him. What he's doing, and this guy, Ofwono Opondo, is just being decent and civil. But he's laughing at Norbert Mao in those words he's saying. Where's the peaceful transition? Where are the electoral reforms? Show us how you've made sure that justice is granted to people. Zero. He's calling him out. He's telling him, you have failed. And he's telling him, this is what we knew when you were joining us. We knew you couldn't do it because in our camp, it is Museveni and Museveni alone. The rest of other folks whom he appoints as ministers and this is to mention but a few, are but dummies who are remote controlled by him. Jeez.
He's good at flourish. But that's about all.
Let's go back here. Exactly.
Peaceful transition. So nobody should take Mao for the words he's talking about. I know he's good at flourish, but that's about all.
That's about all. He's good at talking. He's good. Very, very convincing. But that's all.
Who is fooling who?
I think Mao is fooling himself. Because if people had believed Mao would have been given a little bit more members of parliament, if people had believed him. But I think he's fooling. He's on his own errand.
Yeah.
Even within DP, as you know, the vice president of DP, Mbide, has told the public that he's not aware that Mao is running for speaker. So I think Mao is on. Remember that Mao had tried the presidency against Yoweri Museveni twice. What has changed that he went back to run for member of parliament? Mm-hmm. Do you think he has abandoned his ambition for the president of Uganda? Mm-mm. So somebody who has competed with our president and said so many uncharitable things. Mm-hmm. I don't think by just seeking the speakership, maybe he's seeking the speakership in the hope that he can use that route to gain entry into the presidency.
Now that's a warning. He's trying to remind Mao that we are not forgetting the uncharitable things you've said about the presidency, the dictatorship of Museveni. What he's trying to say to Norbert Mao, these are threats. Do you think that you have been fighting us all this time, that you're going to come and enjoy what we've been building for our own advantage? That's what he's trying to say. Wow.
I doubt if he can succeed. But if we have used Mao, then he allowed himself to be used. Because I want to believe that by the time Mao joined the NRM cabinet 3 years ago, he had had the hindsight of NRM of 39 years.
Yep.
If he did not understand, then he's the one who has lent himself to be used, and he should not blame anyone. And nobody should blame us for using Mao.
Wow, this is pretty revealing. They're saying, yes, we used him, but he knew we were going to use him. This is very embarrassing. I mean, I don't know how people betray their values. Look at how he's being embarrassed, Norbert Mao. We've used you, and you knew we were going to use you. You knew who we are for the last 37 years or so. You knew, and you joined us. What?
Your phrase. Neither Mao should blame us, nor members of the public should blame us for using him. It is the same thing if somebody says, oh, why are you buying people? You who's being bought, how cheap are you that you are being bought?
Now, a clock, a dead clock is, they say it's right twice a day, is 100% true. 100%. You who is being bought, are you stupid? This is why I don't buy into the idea that people usually don't know what they're doing. They know that you're joining the Museveni criminal regime. It has been a criminal regime for years.
That after 39 and a half years, Mao lends himself to this dictatorship, the thing he has been calling dictatorship, because the constituent parts of NRM has remained. But you see, there are people who come to NRM for different reasons. Some come for welfare, some come to get a shed, some come to... I don't know what Mao weighed. I think that question should be asked to Mao. After 39 and a half years, what did you see that convinced you that this leopard called NRM had changed its skin?
I'll tell you this. He didn't see anything changed, absolutely nothing. It is called capitulation. He waved a white flag. Fighting is not easy. Some people get to a point where they give up. He gave up. It's not that he's seen things change. And now he's changed tune from the uncharitable things he used to say to flourishing compliments about the Museveni regime and Museveni himself. He does all this. He panders to the regime, does the shading for the regime in pursuit for proximity to power, money, and wealth. To him, he's reached the finishing line. That's all he knows. He thinks that, he cannot go beyond this. Now he's trying to find ways of how he can be a power broker. I can enjoy money in the Museveni regime, but I'm able to see that, the Museveni regime is in its evening days, last days, the final band. What can I do to usher in a new regime that is over Muhoozi Kainerugaba? So he's positioning himself. He's completely given up. He's not had change of heart. So because, no. People are still abducted, tortured, disappeared. And he's the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Give me a break.
You see, Honorable, I want to quote Mao. One time he said a statement that there can never be transition in Uganda without President Yoweri Museveni. And that's why he extended closer to the power.
No, that's Mao's assessment. God forbid. Assuming God calls Yoweri Museveni tomorrow, he will not be there. Is Mao saying there won't be transition? And him overblowing his cooperation agreement, I think I'm using the word, the phrase correctly. I think Mao is overblowing. And who told him? Let him bring the cooperation agreement and we see whether he talks about him becoming a speaker. Mao himself said that his cooperation agreement was for him to be given a ministry. Apparently now he's not satisfied with the ministry. He wants to start picking the fruits by himself. You don't come to my compound and just start picking fruits by yourself. At least you ask me, which fruit should I pick? Prive to the cooperation agreement, to the best of my knowledge, with the broader membership of NRM, have not accessed, are not privy, don't know the content, the details of the cooperation agreement. We have taken our leader, Yoweri Museveni, at face value, that what he has done to bring Mao, to bring Anita Among, to bring Betty Kamia previously, he intended to promote healing some of the political wounds, but also...
No. Don't play your games here. Healing some of the political wounds. What do you even... This is nonsense. What do you mean? When Betty Kamia joined NRM, the attacks on Dr. Kizza Besigye did not stop. When Betty Amongi joined the NRM, the attacks on Jimmy Akena, who was failed to contest in the 2026 elections, did not stop. And the joining of Norbert Mao to the NRM did,
make our former adversaries understand from inside how NRM runs things.
Yeah, and that's what Mao is finding out, that actually doesn't take meritocracy. It doesn't require you to have numbers as long as you have the influence over and the endorsement of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Kerebaka and Museveni, you can be speaker. That's what he's finding out. That's why he doesn't have the numbers. He's a newbie in the NRM criminal regime, but he doesn't care because he knows you don't matter.
I don't think he intended that there should be the fulcrum on which NRM balances, NRM runs things. I don't think that was his intention. That's the reason why we have never gone into a coalition where people determine how they want to be in NRM. No, the agreement with Mao is not a coalition. It's not even unitary. Mao came on NRM rules. If you are one person in a cabinet of 82, how much do you think you can change? Except to move on the terms of the majority. Yes.
So finally, Honorable, it is quite interesting when you speak like this.
And just remember, I've spoken for NRM. I've spoken for the government of Uganda, so I know what I'm talking about. That Honorable Mao, with the due respect, he has been... He has overblown his weight, he has overblown his value in the NRM politics, and I dare say, even in the national politics.
Wow. He's trying to say, hey, I think we need to calm down that ego of yours. Interesting. All right. I'll play you a video here of Norbert Mao presenting himself as a unifier. I am represent Uganda made simple. Uganda made simple. That's what I am.
Present Uganda made simple.
Okay, listen to.
Yeah.
I'm actually the right person for the right time.
Feckless.
These next 5 years are going to be pivotal.
The other MPs, Alioni, Odria, yes.
Odria, yes. So the next 5 years, this is a season for consensus building.
Shut up.
And
Shut
I
up.
think-
Consensus building with.
Like I've said before, I represent Uganda made simple.
I represent Uganda made simple. Okay.
The father from the north,
There you go.
having grown up in the east,
Okay.
studied in the central, and a mother from western Uganda. I'm Uganda made simple.
It doesn't really matter. Listen to how he thinks. Bobi Wine has united Uganda by just traversing the country and talking to people. You don't have to be to have to be come from 12 ethnicities. Then you'd be like, okay, I'm a Uganda made simple. Come on.
I'm the kind of person who can be the glue for a country which is struggling with national unity.
He's so fakeless. Oh my God.
What is your good father, Salim Saleh, speaking about your bid?
You are calling him my godfather. You later have to elaborate.
Actually, I should tell you, I'm not going to play you here, but later in this show, he confirmed that Salim Saleh is his godfather.
Incidentally, I have not met him all through the campaigns and the elections.
Let's go here where he comments about the transitional parliament he's going to be representing here and this will be the last clip.
Uganda is not going anywhere.
What do you have an idea on how and what a transition parliament would look like?
A transition parliament should be a parliament where we listen more to those who disagree with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how President Museveni operates.
Again, he has to carry water and give undeserving compliments to Museveni. But Museveni listens to those he disagrees with by what? Hunting them down and forcing them to flee their homes, abducting their supporters, opening up trumped-up charges on the likes of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Shut up, Norbert Mao. You can eat money without really debasing yourself to a childish commentator. Jeez.
I think
These
many
people
of
make me mad. I am sorry. I shouldn't be getting emotional like this.
those who claim to be NRM.
Okay, I'm going to stop here with this gibberish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you understand there's a war going on within the Museveni and Muhoozi political orbit. Do not fall for any side. They are both the same. This is a coin that has two sides, but it is a coin. Don't fall for Norbert Mao. Do not fall for Ofwono Opondo. They are the same people. What you see is power struggle. And it only takes a call from Keleba Kando, now famously known as Salim Saleh or Muhoozi Kainerugaba or Museveni, and say, hey, okay, I want you to stop saying ABC. And they will all shut up. But as we witness, like I said, the change that we all want to see may ultimately sideline both these protagonists as they think that, they have ways of how they can chart the path for Uganda. Things usually don't happen the way we wish them to be or to. So let's continue doing what we're supposed to be doing the right things, opposing these people. Because Norbert Mao and Ofwono Opondo are the same people. Don't fall for any. All right. That's it for now. Do me a favor, please. Consider subscribing to my feed, and I would truly appreciate it. Like this video and let me know where you're watching me from. What do you think about Norbert Mao? Am I being too tough? And this is why I want to say, I am sorry if I really, really said something I shouldn't be saying. I don't intend to demean or insult people. I would like to disagree coherently, cogent, and cohesively without necessarily resorting to ad hominem attacks. If I did, I take it back, and my apologies. Let me know what you think. My name is Mordecai Murisa. See you. Bye-bye for now.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.